All right, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and as you just saw, sneak peek number 6 for the June update is here, just like I expected. But no one, and I mean absolutely no one, could have predicted who is here. This is absolutely insane, boys. So we're getting a brand new uniform for Elektra, and not just any old uniform. We're getting Elektra's Daredevil uniform from the most recent Woman Without Fear comic run, or Devil's Reign. I absolutely love it, boys. I can't lie. I'm so excited for this because not only has Elektra been really bad for a very long time, even though she's gotten a uniform and there's still characters in the game that's never gotten a uniform, she's definitely a candidate for a uniform. And more than just that, if you take a look at this building right here, it says it all. Elektra is not only getting a brand new uniform, but she's getting a tier 3. This is amazing. So you don't have to worry about characters going from tier 2 to tier 4. It looks like they're going to be progressing one tier at a time. So if they're at tier 2 and they get a uniform at this point in the game, I'm hoping to see a tier 3 come. And if they are currently tier 3 or awakened, I'm expecting them to get tier 4, I guess. We'll see what happens with Moon Knight. However, guys, how do you feel about this one? I am personally a big fan of Elektra Nachos, okay? I am a big fan of her. I love female ninjas. I love ninjas in general. I'm a sucker for ninjas. So Elektra getting a uniform, I'm very happy. I know some of you guys probably tired of all of these speed characters getting a glow up, but I am here for it because speed characters were so bad. Go back 2 or 3 years ago and look at the state of the game. There wasn't really that many speed characters worth talking about, but all of a sudden we have Hawkeye, we have Kate Bishop, we have Spider-Man, we have Gwenpool. So many good speed characters. We have Big Wong, aka my main man, Big Sexy. There's so many good speed characters now, and because of that, Makari, can't leave out Makari, right? Sorry, but because of that, people are kind of upset. I don't know. It's weird because now we have so many options where you can play with whoever you want. Well, not whoever you want. Obviously, there's still speed characters that are bad, but because there's so many speed characters back to back, I see people complaining like, listen, there's too many speed characters. They need to diversify. And I could understand that, right? Maybe they should do a couple more combats in between all of these speed characters. That would be a nice balance because now the combat category is looking kind of shaky. Looking like it's the weakest category in the game right now. Blast has always been very powerful. Universal, usually top 2 in the game. Speed is definitely up there now, so combat is lagging behind. And I'm not really a big fan of them doing back to back combat characters, but it is what it is. We just got Blade. Blade is pretty decent leadership, damage-wise. So eventually, we'll probably get more combat characters that can compete in today's meta. However, what do you guys expect from Elektra? Are you expecting a PvE Elektra or a PvP? I know for me personally, I'm happy with Makari being top of the food chain for the speed characters in the game, with Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, Falcon, and others being close behind her. I would love it if Elektra was actually a PvP character. We need more characters that can actually put Emma Frost and more specifically Adam Warlock in check. That man needs to be taken down a peg or two. They never ban him because they want to torment people and make sure that people buy his uniform, buy the character and build him up because he's going to get another uniform next year and they're trying to get the most out of him possible. And a speed character that is pretty tanky, that does great damage, is just what we need. We have Spider-Man, but Adam Warlock versus Spider-Man is like 50-50. Maybe if your Spider-Man is really well built, you have a 60% chance of getting the kill on Adam Warlock before he one-shots you. But in most cases, even though Spider-Man has a type advantage over Adam Warlock will body him. But I'm hoping that Elektra can actually be another force to be reckoned with in timeline battle. Now, I do know that if that is the case, some of you guys are going to be upset because you invested absolutely everything into Spider-Man. but I always tell you guys to diversify your roster. You never want to put absolutely everything into any one character at any point in time, because the meta is always changing. Marvel Future Fight is a living, breathing entity. Every 2 weeks we're getting new changes, new uniforms, new characters, so you always want to invest a good amount so you can get a decent return, but you never want to invest absolutely everything. But it will be nice to see Adam Warlock get taken down a peg or two. As much as I love him, I'm not an Adam Warlock hater. I don't know about you guys, but I would like to see a few more characters that can kill him consistently, and that's coming from somebody who loves Adam Warlock. I have 20 Odin's Blessings on him, so I'm not saying that out of a place of hatred. It's just that when it comes to the rock, paper, scissors balance in Marvel Future Fight, I like it, but he's kind of breaking that at the moment, where most speed characters can't handle him. So I'd like to see Elektra come in and put him in check. Now, in case you guys were wondering what the message was on the forums, I'll show you guys really quickly here, because the forums was down for about an hour today after the sneak peek was posted. So here it goes. It says, "Greetings, agents. This is CM Fragment of Marvel Future Fight. Few have fought against this superhero and survived." That's actually very true. Freelance assassin, member of the Hand, and now a daredevil in tote, Elektra is back and badder than ever. Check out the new looks of this deadly mercenary who is an expert in all types of battle. We will announce more details through the patch detail later. So this tells us that that's pretty much it. We're going to be getting 2 uniforms, one for Moon Knight, one for Elektra. Elektra is going to be getting tier 3 and Moon Knight might be getting tier 4. It will be interesting to see how these characters affect the game. Moon Knight might become the best combat character in the game after this. I know many of you guys are hoping for that. We'll see how it plays out. Hopefully, if Moon Knight is indeed getting a tier 4, that they increase the life seed drop rate from World Boss Legend, and they also consider buffing the amount of Soul of the Faltine that you can farm from Dormammu Giant Boss Raid, because currently you can only get 150 per day, and 150 per day is not good enough in my opinion if they're expecting us to tier 4 2 tier 4 characters per month when you need like 6,000. Come on, man. Come on, man. I personally do not agree with this. So Marvel, please consider making guaranteed life seed drops for World Boss Legend and bump up that Soul of the Faltine drop rate to at least 300. If you're gonna drop 2 tier 4s, I think 300 is a good number. It's still gonna take you a long time to farm enough, but I think 300 would be a solid number. Now, in terms of what Elektra needs to be a better character, she has a decent tier 2 passive, especially considering when this character was released. Okay, Elektra launched with the game, and I believe a couple years later she got a rework and this uniform, but her tier 2 passive is pretty good. Guaranteed dodge and guaranteed critical rate is very, very good. Even today, if a character gets this new character, this is a good passive. Okay, so Revived Assassin doesn't need to really be changed. Maybe they could buff it to 30-35% for both. I think it's perfectly fine as is. However, the rest of the kit does need to be overhauled. The guaranteed crit rate from the passive synergizes very nicely with the regular crit rate here, but honestly, as a speed character, they generally have lower attack stats, so I would prefer to see this be physical attack, kind of like what they did for Black Widow, where they gave her 40%, as you can see, 40% physical attack. In case you don't know, this is what Black Widow's old passive looked like. Also, an assassin. She was going from 5% to 40%, so that's a big buff. Now, she did have physical attack to begin with, so they kind of just buff what was already there. However, with Elektra, they would be adding physical attack, which I think is a good thing for them to do. If they're not going to put it here, then they should put it on the uniform bonus. But I definitely think she needs an attack buff to some degree, and she definitely needs more survivability built in, right? No healing in her kit. She has iframes and stuff. Iframes are good, but in World Boss Legend and even in Giant Boss Raid against Dormammu, you can get hit when you're in iframes because of the purple attacks. They ignore iframe, so she gotta get a heal. She gotta get penetration. She definitely gotta get damage accumulation or one of those super crit rate buffs that make it so that you do extra critical damage every time you crit. So something like that for a uniform bonus is not anything great, especially since it's on a cooldown time. The cooldown time is not the longest, it's only 2 seconds, but this only lasts for 5 seconds. You can keep it up pretty much all the time, but if they're gonna give her critical damage, then it needs to be there at all times, so your stats are capped off at all time. I think they could just move this to her 4-star passive and leave it up all the time, and then give her a new uniform bonus, maybe chain hit damage and ignore dodge. I'd like to see ignore dodge built into more characters kit, just like Black Widow got. Maybe not the exact same amount, they could give her like 20 or 30%. You know, that would be a good number in my opinion. These days speed characters don't really get the best leadership, so I don't expect them to change this, but if they wanted to change the leadership, they could. Guys, leave me your thoughts in the comments. Are you excited for Elektra? I already have her at level 70 from way back because I played with her, and there was this thing that you could do with Elektra where you could just infinitely cancel Silent Ambush, which is her 4th skill, and then just chain it together with her 3 and her 5, and you could just stay in iframes forever and you could beat Shadowland stages. That's what I used to do with her, but I know for most of you guys, yeah, you probably don't have Elektra built, and maybe you want to wait and see how good she turns out. For me, I have the materials, so you already know. Day 1, maybe not day 1, day 2. Oh, that's nice. I'm definitely gonna be tier 3 my Elektra. I think I have the books. I might have to double check. I don't want to have to buy any books. Come on. When was the last speed tier 3? Was it Hawkeye? Nah, I'm pretty sure I have the books, right? Because oh no, it's Wong. Why did I think Wong was like an awakened character for some reason? Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I have the books. I'm pretty sure what I'm collecting right now is combat books. Ooh, 819. At least it's below 30. These days, if I see less than 30, bro, I'm kind of happy. You know, you can tell that this character was built a long time ago when I have skill cooldown rolled on their 4th gear. These days, if it's not crit rate, crit damage, or I think that's the only thing I really roll for is crit rate or crit damage, because I don't really need anything else. My dodge on my card's pretty good, and yeah, my ignore defense is always capped off. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. So we ready, boys. We ready. What do I have on her? 140 proc. Okay. Or maybe I should have gone for. I'm an idiot. Maybe I should have gone for critical damage. It doesn't matter. We'll see what she gets on her new uniform, and then we'll just rebuild her. I'm just gonna have to roll these. It's gonna eat up a lot of gold, but I'm excited. I don't know if every 2 weeks now they're gonna drop a tier 3 character and a tier 4. I don't know. It's very strange that within like a week after the initial update, they dropped a new tier 3 and possibly a tier 4 in Moon Knight. A lot of you guys might be upset about this, but here's the thing. I'd rather them try to catch up by giving tier 3s and awaken skill to these characters that are left behind than just bringing out tier 4s and then saying F it to all of these characters that are still here. So I'd rather there be too many characters getting tier 3s and awaken skills than not enough, because at the end of the day, even if a character gets a tier 3 or an awaken skill, you don't have to. You as a player don't have to have every single character tier 3 or awaken. When you have lots of options, you can pick the best ones based on your playstyle or what you need in your current situation, whether you need a PvE or a PvP character. So if they start dropping more tier 3s, as long as they're good, more tier 3s and more awakened characters, as long as they're giving these characters uniforms, recent up-to-date uniforms, so like Elektra's case where she's getting a tier 3 and a uniform, as long as they do this, I'm happy. Now, Marvel, I'm kind of wondering, you're giving us a speed tier 3 in Elektra, but you still haven't given us Green Goblin. I hate to bring it up because I know people are gonna mention that. That's kind of shitty, I'm not gonna lie. We just had Wong and people are like, okay, we got a speed tier 3 in Wong. Maybe the next speed tier 3 2 months from now is gonna be Green Goblin. Nope, Green Goblin being skipped again. I'm pretty sure what I said is exactly what's happening. They don't want to give out Green Goblin as a tier 3 because that's gonna mess with the bag. If they drop a tier 3 Green Goblin, people are gonna immediately stop building Gamora and Electro. these two characters are going to be immediately removed for the game modes that they're currently meta for. Gamora, meta for ABX, Electro, meta, in quotes, for squad battle. Even though, for me personally, my Green Goblin at tier 2 scores more than my Electro. And that's with a 5-star artifact. Maybe I'm just bad at the game, bro. I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Let me know in the comments if you guys are stoked, hype, excited for Elektra, the woman without fear.